Sage Wanderer here, and welcome to Coffee Talk! As you know, Coffee Talk is for theories that conspiracy theories or paranormal things that I find really interesting, but I don't necessarily believe. And let me tell you, the conspiracy theories are swarming around Washington, D.C. Over the past few years. And they're coming from both sides, you know. You got this whole conspiracy theory from the left about the Russian collusion. Well, some more information has come out about, about some Russian collusion. And it has to do with a certain CEO from a major corporation called Overstock.com. You might have shopped with Overstock.com. Yeah, Overstock. Yeah. Apparently, he's a bit of a citizen spy. It kind of makes me think of Wild Wild West. Is this CEO a West character? Well, according to him, 3 times in his past, the Men in Black, this is his words, not mine, okay? And if you're interested in the Men in Black, see my video, The Real Men in Black. I know who he's talking about because, quite frankly, they paid me a visit. But the Men in Black, as he said, paid him a visit on 3 different occasions in his life and asked him for his help to get involved in some kind of, situation. I can't recall the first one. I know the second one was the first one was he helped them solve a murder of a friend. And then the second time he helped the Men in Black, he was helping them on Wall Street. He said he took down 200 Wall Street con men. So the third time they came to visit him, though, it was about Russian collusion. Dun, dun, dun. Apparently, they wanted him to have a illicit affair with a known Russian spy. That deserves another dun dun dun. That one deserves more like a dun dun dun. So, it's hard to really understand this guy because he's kind of all over the place. And it's one of the reasons I'm making this video is that, leave it up to me to decipher it and then put it into actual English, because this guy's interviews are all over the place. It's hard to make heads or tails of what he's trying to say. But it boils down to this, that they wanted him to get with this Russian agent and have a romantic affair with her and try to get her to give them information, apparently, to collect blackmail information against 4 known American politicians. Ted Cruz, right? Marco Rubio, Little Rubio, Little Marco, that's what they call him, Little Marco. Donald Trump, just kind of figured that. And this one's the part I need all the coffee for. This is what I need the coffee for. The 4th person was Hillary Clinton. Dun dun dun. Better yet, dun dun dun. All quite interesting. Only in America, right? So this guy's going around saying that the Men in Black came to him to get him to go with this Russian agent to try to collect information, mostly on Hillary Clinton. Now, for those of us that think Hillary Clinton is in bed with the deep state and one of their soldiers and everything, or she may be actually the person in charge of the deep state, this is why I need the coffee for this, because this conspiracy theory coming from this man suggests that she isn't necessarily part of the deep state. Now, how connected is the deep state and the Illuminati? How much are the deep state under the control of the bankers? Man, none of us knows exactly the higher up structure here. And so I'm open for suggestions, because I don't have a clear chain of command who's in charge of what. I just know that, at the top, everybody's dirty. Everybody's evil at the top, right? So the purpose, according to the CEO, of collecting this information on Hillary Clinton was for political blackmail. Now, we all know about Strzok. This man names Strzok as one of the conspirators, one of the Men in Black. But he claims it comes from 3 high-level members, that the orders for this, his orders to collect information from this Russian agent, came from 3 of the highest members of the cabinet of the Obama administration. So is Hillary on that list? Why would she be getting information against herself? Is this guy disinformation? Is he just making this up to muddy the waters because he knows the real truth is coming out and Hillary's going down? Is he? What role does he play in this? Is he a useful idiot? Is he a guy that just got used by the government? Or is he currently just a disinformation agent? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. That's why I have the coffee. But I would like to give you this conspiracy theory brought to you by Coffee Talk. And Coffee Talk today is brought to you by T-Money. Because T-Money brought me some... He gave me some coffee, and he wanted me to dedicate something to him, and I can't remember what it was that I was going to dedicate to him. I think it was T-Money that gave me some coffee. So anyway, brought to you by T-Money. But yeah, so here's my theory, as it were. They were collecting information on Hillary Clinton, because this explains to me why every president I've ever voted for is one person during the candidacy and a completely different person when they become president. So typically I vote for a candidate and they have a certain platform, and then they get elected. Yay, I voted for the winner. And then they just turn into politically the previous person. I think the most stunning example of this is Barack Obama. Now, I will admit to have voted for Barack Obama, and beat me up if you want to. I didn't vote for Barack Obama, the president that you all know now, because hindsight's 2020. I voted for the candidate, and the candidate, Barack Obama, sounded almost exactly like the candidate, Donald Trump. That the same platform that Donald Trump ran on was the exact same platform that Barack Obama ran on. Change. Barack Obama was going to go up there and drain the swamp, right? Barack Obama was going to get us out of these unnecessary foreign wars. Sound familiar? Donald Trump was going to do the same thing. Barack Obama wanted to turn the economy around. So did Donald. You know what? Every presidential candidate that comes in there in the past has come in saying the right things, or they wouldn't get elected. They tell us what they want us to hear. They tell us what we want to hear, rather. And they tickle our ears with sweet words, and when they get in there, then they do whatever. So it's fed this conspiracy theory that they were in on it all along, and it was just lies from the beginning, and they had no intention of following through and actually doing good things for the people. But I always had another theory, that when they, and this is kind of, I've heard comedians joke about this, is that when you get elected, the deep state sits you down, the CIA sits you down. In this case, it would have been, Clapper and Comey sit you down, and they show you the Zapruder film from a different angle, the unedited Zapruder film, and they tell you, we did kill JFK, and we'll kill you too if you don't straight up fly right and do what we say. And if that doesn't scare them, the threat of death, then they roll the fabulous bean footage of them with the underage girl, or them, in the case of a certain previous president, 44, I saw a lot of YouTube rumors of, these testimonies by male prostitutes on YouTube. They've all been taken down, I'm sure. But there was a whole long list of male prostitutes out of the Chicago area that said, the guy y'all are calling, I won't say his name. I'm going to get in trouble. But, we knew him as Barry Soto. And Barry Soto used to come down and give us money, and we would get a bunch of crack cocaine, and we'd smoke a bunch of crack, and then we'd all have gay sex together. There's people saying that. So maybe that's what they had on a previous president? Whatever they can get on them, whether it's inappropriate relationships, sexual dirt, taking money, bribes, that kind of thing, whatever they can get, even if they have to entrap them into something. That's what they're trying to do. That the deep state, listen to this close, the deep state has been running our country since they killed our president in 1963. That the last legit president we had was John F. Kennedy, and since then the men that killed John F. Kennedy have been running the world and running our country, and this is their method. They get blackmail on potential candidates. In this case, they pick the 4 people most likely to become president. They have Rubio. He might have won, because this is 2015, late 2015, early 2016 when this is happening. That he was this CEO guy is saying that he was out of the deal by the time of the the Republican and Democratic conventions, right? So this would have been prior to that he was supposed to get information on Rubio, who was a front runner, Cruz was a front runner, Trump was a front runner, and Hillary Clinton was pre-designated. Like they knew, they didn't even bother with getting something on Uncle Bernie because he wasn't never going to win. Don't. He was never going to win. The fix was in. Sorry, a little sarcasm there. So these people, they say they select the presidents. They don't need to select the presidents. Presidents can go ahead and be elected as long as the deep state sits down, puts the shot collar on the president and says, now you're our dog and you're going to do what we say. And if you don't, here's the consequences. And so we'll either ruin you, we'll expose you as this, that, or the other thing. We have pictures of you, whatever. And the problem with Trump, and the reason that we even know about any of this, and the only reason why this CEO guy is even coming up, is because Trump is fighting them. It appears that Trump is fighting them, that they wanted to get their insurance policy. They had an insurance policy on Hillary. They had an insurance policy on Rubio. They got an insurance policy on Cruz, and they couldn't get an insurance policy on Trump, so they had to invent one. They had to just straight up lie and invent Russian collusion. This is what they were using this woman for, too, this Russian spy who's actually in prison right now for being a spy, right? This woman that was sleeping with the CEO of this corporation. That this woman was supposed to be the one to go to, she was going to draw in Trump with Russia and get some real dirt on him, but Trump Jr. wouldn't play. Trump Jr. would not. He didn't play. He didn't pay. He didn't involve himself in it. So they couldn't get anything on Trump. And this is why Trump's fighting them, because they ain't got anything on him. They've tried. They had to invent some stuff. It didn't stick. Ultimately, they want to do a JFK to him, but he's made that difficult for them, too, because he's smarter than them. Trump's just smarter than them, and I think he might get away with this. He might get away with this for 2 terms. He might actually drain the swamp, with the help of this CEO, who I think he's willing to testify. He claims to be a libertarian and a flag-waving hippie, so maybe this dude was going to step up to the plate and he's already named Strzok. He named Comey, right? But he won't name the 3 members of the cabinet, which has got to be, you got to have, like, maybe Rod Rosenstein's got to be in on this somewhere, right? He's got to be behind it. We're talking about Justice Department people, maybe Lynch, I think she was the Attorney General, right, Lynch? He's also named McCabe. So this cabal of deep state operatives, according to this guy, we're employing him to get dirt on candidates for blackmail. Don't. If this is true, if this guy's credible, if he survives to tell his story, if he can back it up in any way, then I can't see how this doesn't just destroy the deep state. First of all, it exposes them, but most importantly, it gives us a method to go and get them, because this is illegal. This is treason. This getting blackmail on political opponents to try to control them is probably one of the most evil things you can do in a republic like ours. To compromise the elected officials, the people that we have entrusted with the job, is it really, honestly, it's a better method than controlling the polling places. If you can legitimately control the people that are elected through blackmail and just basically have your hand there to make them your puppet to say whatever you tell them to say, that's way more powerful than putting your guy in office, because your guy could turn he could turn on you. But if you have blackmail on these people, if basically everybody that makes it to the top has got some dirty little secret they don't want exposed, then that's some real political power. What do you think about that? Is that what they've been doing to us? This simple method of blackmail, acquiring dirt on people to control them, to get their way? Or is it the bigger conspiracy that we all think of, where the elections are actually fixed and they control who they put in power? I don't think it matters who they put in power, except when somebody gets in power that they ain't got no dirt on and can't get no dirt on them. And that's the thing. They ain't got nothing on Trump. Even if they did, I don't know, most people would even believe it at this point, because it's just become so politicized. Would you really believe it if they produced some kind of evidence that Trump was actually in that hotel room in Russia, getting weed on by the prostitutes? And even then, would you really care if he was draining the swamp anyway? I don't care. I don't care what the man does on his downtime, tell you the truth. This is where I'm different than other people, especially conservatives. I don't care who you're screwing. I care who you're screwing over. Okay? This is an adult coffee talk. Oh my goodness. Passionate about this topic because I think this guy has uncovered some stuff. Is he disinformation? The CEO of Overstock.com. Is his story the truth? Is he making it up? Did the men in black visit him? Don't. You decide. All right. God save our republic.